happened.
Hi everybody, we're in the last few minutes of the face-to-face for Hospice. Special show we do every year. This is our 9th year doing it. And we've got a special person with us today, Dave Truesdale.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, John. Thank you.
Good. Tell us about your story with Hospice.
Well, I realized shortly after finishing chemotherapy that I needed some help that doctors couldn't provide. So I reached out and found out about Hospice and began attending a support group that Hospice offered, and found out very quickly that it provided me with a safe, non-judgmental environment where I could share anything with people who were or were currently going through what I had been through. I had recently read a book which contained a chapter on the importance of reaching out and getting connected to others, because cancer can be a very isolating condition, despite the numbers out there, and it made a huge difference along with the care I was getting from the doctors.
So you're talking about support.
Yes.
I mean, so many of us, we talk about the hospice story. It's about death. It's about dying. It's things like this. So you're there on a weekly basis, on a Tuesday, hanging out, talking, sharing, learning, and encouraging.
Oh, it's great. And I've learned that hospice taught me that cancer is not a condition, a terminal illness, as much as it is a chronic one. A friend of mine at Hospice put it this way by saying that I'm not someone who's dying of cancer, I'm someone who's living with it, which throws a whole different light on the situation.
How much did you know about Hospice before you had cancer?
Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, when I called Hospice, I was hoping that they might be able to direct me somewhere to someone else who may be providing something, anything. I didn't know that Hospice specifically provided these kinds of support groups, these kinds of opportunities to people in my situation. And it was with a little trepidation that I started going, and learned very quickly that it was the best thing I could have done at the time.
You know, and the neat thing is when you walk into the hospice on Empress, you know, one street north of Tecumseh and one street west of Jefferson, to the big complex there in the main building, is first off, you're greeted by people, and there's always Tim Hortons coffee pot there for us from our friends at Tim Hortons that donate that every day. But there's a big library.
Oh, yes.
And if they want to do some research, you want to talk about something, and there it is as a library available to anyone who goes in, who got a question and says, you know, I've been diagnosed with something, or I don't know, or my mother, my grandmother, or my brother, my uncle, my aunt have been diagnosed. And it's a resource for them to even look up and start learning information on it and help you online.
As a matter of fact, they provided me with quite a bit of information on how to go about explaining the situation to your kids, how to approach that with teenagers as opposed to very young children, that a family member, a parent in my case, is ill, and what that's most likely going to mean for them, because
you're different, you're going to be tired, and some other things you've been going through, that they understand it.
And if being in that situation is confusing and upsetting for someone such as myself, it can be even more so for a young one.
Or a grandchild of someone going through it. And that's one of the things, too, we learned about, too, was the programs they have for children and the counseling for children as well as adults, and the therapy, the exercises, and all the things they have there. So why would you encourage someone to be one of the 500 people in Windsor-Essex County going to 10 people they know for $10? What would that mean for you to encourage people watching today?
Well, not simply because it's a great cause, but there are so many people out there who have been or will be touched by cancer somehow, whether it be themselves or through a loved one, a close friend. And one thing that my situation has taught me is that you can't assume anything. And I would encourage people not to look at hospice as something that doesn't apply to them or doesn't hold some kind of significance or meaning to themselves, even if they themselves haven't been touched by cancer. It's a big part of the community. It helps out a big part of the community. So from that point of view, I tend to think that it's very hard to find someone out there who hasn't in some way been touched by cancer, who wouldn't in turn benefit from helping out.
I get it. I'm part of the converted.
Yes.
All right. And thank you, Dave. Thank you for being on this
John.
program with us today. And that's the story we're talking about today. More after this. North end of the complex here at the Hospice Village is a donor home that from the Tak family. And what a special thing for you.
Well, that means a lot for us because actually we as a family, myself, my wife, and my two sons, Abe and Rami, we would like to give back to the community, and we're very proud and very happy to do that.
You know, and on the front, it has a saying. Tell us that.
Simple. Dar al-Shifa, which means, is in Arabic, Dar al-Shifa, it means in English, the house of healing. And we felt...
And that's our story that we've been talking about for 8 seasons. This is our 9th season doing this for face-to-face, for hospice. So what I got to say, I mean, we have people sitting across from me. I got an empty chair here right now. We got people sitting across from me who want to know about politics and businesses and what you did and how you did what you did and why you made the decision, all the stuff we do here on face-to-face. But it doesn't really matter what we talk about in those weeks. This is what we focus in on this year. Once a year that we ask you to be part of the campaign, part of 500 people in Windsor-Essex County that's going to 10 people they know for $10. Go to your Facebook. Go to the website that's on TV, or that's flashing right underneath me, and the phone number and everything like that. Why don't you, if you're a Facebook person, click the icon to get onto the Facebook to share with all your friends and like. So yeah, we've been listening to this for 8 years. The 9th year, this guy's still talking about all this stuff. Never stops. They have $1.3 million that they have to raise every year, the Hospice of Windsor-Essex County. $1.3 million, and all the services that they offer are free. So that's what they have to raise. All we're asking you is to get 10 people you know for $10, so $100 a person. And I'm sure there are 500 people that we know out there that could do that. There are 500 businesses, 500 departments, 500 factories, people who work in things, work on floors of a hospital, who do everything. They got foundations and groups and church groups and family and friends and anniversaries and birthday parties and things like that. That's all we ask. I mean, look at this. I got an empty chair. Our big picture that we always have, flip on the picture. I got nobody in front of us because it's you that I'm talking to. So put yourself in the chair face to face. And what I want you to do is do it this year. Our 9th year doing this. We've had Patty Handysides. We've had all the different people all the years that have stopped in to tell you on this. Carol Derbyshire this year. We've had Dave Truesdale, a hospice patient who uses the service. Erica told us today. We've had people co-host. We've had walkthroughs. I don't know what more we need to do, but we want you to be part of the face-to-face campaign. 500 people going to 10 people they know for $10. Do it. And join the face-to-face campaign.